Have you ever fantasized about attacking your enemies with a zeppelin? Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. My name is Jane and today we're gonna find out if I'm really goth. So we're gonna go onto Google and search for some goth quizzes, just those internet quizzes that people make for fun. And we're gonna take some of those quizzes to see if we're goth according to those quizzes. So we're just gonna go on Google together, search for some quizzes, make them and see what people think is goth and what makes us goth and if we're even goth, really. So here we go, we're on Google now. My Google is Dutch, by the way, because I'm actually Dutch. So if you see some weird looking words, just know that is Dutch. So we're just gonna start and we're gonna take the very first one that we see, which is called, are you goth, geek, punk, emo, or just plain you? There's some questions over here, and also a lot of advertisements, as you can see. Yeah, so this is totally my fault, but I forgot to use an advertisement blocker for this video. So the ads apparently are literally spoiling my address, because for some reason advertisements nowadays show you where you live. So I can't show my screen. So that's why I decided to just show you some pictures of the questions that I'm answering with my face cam, so you can still see what I'm talking about, but can't see my screen recording because I don't want to be doxxed. So yeah, hope you still enjoy this video. So select the color that you like the most. So I'm guessing that black is gonna be the color for goths. The color that I actually like most is purple and not black. So, but we're gonna select purple. Pick a quality that suits your personality. This is actually interesting because it says to pick a quality. And I don't really see how depressed is a quality. Like, I'm guessing that should be the emo one. But mysterious, humble, and determined seem more like qualities than being depressed. What is your favorite pastime? I love how this says praising hell and worshipping Satan. Like, is that gonna be goth if you select praising hell? I don't think anyone passes their time praising hell, like in their free time, but alright. So I guess listening to heavy metal and rock music should be my preferred way to pass my time, because I don't personally really worship Satan in my free time. Well, this quiz was definitely made by some edgy kid, because this is like, I'm not even allowed around the knives anymore. Like, I don't know who made this, but probably some edgy 12-year-old. I guess the second one, black skirt with a black shirt and black lipstick. So, as you can see, that's what I'm wearing right now. So I would say this one, yeah. What do you think you are? As the rain falls in a dark sky, I whisper in the ear of a guy, I am goth. Okay. That's a very interesting quote. Oh, so apparently we're not even goth according to this quiz. We are just plain you. So we're not even alternative according to this quiz, which is kind of surprising to me because I answered quite a lot of them like in the direction of goth, I think. But maybe the one who made this quiz just didn't really think that's what goth is, I guess. Is most of your clothing black? So I've been seeing a lot of these questions in like these quizzes, like, is most of your clothing black? So if you'd say no, I like color, they would probably say you are not goth, which, as we probably already know, is kind of incorrect, because you can also be goth if you're not into black clothing. Like, being goth is being into goth music. At least that's the definition that we have now and today for being goth. So these questions are kind of weird, but I get why they're asking this, because the goth aesthetic, like the goth looks, is typically black clothing. I personally do wear a lot of black. Would you be weirded out if my straight boyfriend would want to wear lipstick? That is kind of a weird question. Like, are they asking if my type of partner is like also goth? I don't actually know where they're going with this question, because in my opinion anyone can wear lipstick. You don't have to be straight or goth or whatever for that, as a man, and also as a woman, of course. I wouldn't be weirded out, I guess. But yeah, that was kind of a weird question, because how does my opinion on men with makeup make me more goth or not? Kind of a weird question, but whatever. Alien features goth imagery. Do you like it? how is this a question to determine if you're goth? Like, do we like the movie or do we like the gothic features? I don't even know. I've actually never seen Alien, so I don't know if I like it. I love how this question has the answer I used to back in the mid 2000s, which is like when I was like 5 or something. Tired of being called emo? I love this question. I love answering this question because yes, I am tired of that. I understand the confusion of people when they see me like this and everyone's like, oh, that's emo, but it's not. So yes, that's definitely the question that is most definitely the most accurate of all of these questions about being goth. If you hate being called emo, you're probably goth. That's facts. You are a goth. We actually are a goth according to this quiz. But I'm gonna be honest, I answered some of these questions really randomly because they ask like, which of these names do you like most? And I didn't know any of the names, so I clicked some random name. But yeah, I guess we did answer quite a lot of questions as a goth. So, this quiz is called How Goth Are You Really? And the first question is already about coffee, because apparently liking coffee is a goth thing. I've seen that before, but I don't like coffee at all. So I don't like black coffee, I don't like white coffee, I don't like coffee at all. How do you feel about corsets? I actually don't like them. I think they're uncomfortable, so I never wear them, but I know it's kind of a goth thing to have. Yeah, I'll leave it to the 16th century. Don't ever wear them. Are goths allowed to wear sweatpants? Are they? According to you? Because according to me, we are. Because I am gonna wear sweatpants when I'm done with this video for sure. I'm just gonna change in my sweatpants as the first thing I do when I'm done with filming. So, yes. Oh, this is the most interesting question of all. So, apparently, the amount of question marks that you are gonna answer is gonna determine how goth you are. I don't even know if this picture has anything to do with it. Like, does it? I don't know. I don't know what this is for kind of question, but we're gonna answer with this one because I like a lot of question marks. Slightly goth. All right. You're not quite full goth just yet. So I'm not goth yet, apparently. You're probably new to the scene and ready to delve into the wonderful world of goth. You'll have to prove your true goth worth. I actually hate these kind of quizzes because they're like judging people on how goth they are. Like, can you imagine if someone is like a baby bad, like just new to the goth community and they're really insecure about themselves, so they're gonna test if they're really goth according to stupid quizzes on the internet, and they get this as an answer, they're probably gonna be really disappointed. Like, they're probably gonna be insecure, especially if you get you are not goth, because just listen to me, these quizzes aren't accurate at all. Whatever you wear, whatever music you listen to, like, if you think you're goth, you're freaking goth, okay? This quiz is to determine whether you're goth or emo, which is really interesting to me because, as I said before, I get called emo a lot, even though I'm not, so I'm wondering if this quiz is gonna call me emo. What color clothes are you wearing? All black, my dude. Yeah, all black. My pants are also black, so I can say all black. Actually, they're like more grayish, but I guess that's black too. I just love these questions where they're trying to see how emo you are by asking how depressed you are. Which band suits your tattered soul? Bauhaus. Oh, hell yeah. Would you rather get dumped or spend the night in a graveyard? Definitely this one. Like, I know this is probably a really gothic answer, but I would definitely wouldn't want to get dumped, and spending the night in a graveyard doesn't really scare me for some reason. I actually work in a morgue, and I don't find death really scary anymore. Being around death, I don't really care about that. So I guess spend a night in a graveyard, I'm fine with that. Have you ever, or are you currently spending 45 minutes perfecting your eyeliner? So this is the perfect question ever, because this eyeliner took me an hour. So I just literally a few hours ago spent 45 minutes on perfecting my eyeliner. Oh, this answer is so edgy. No, and I hate highly sensitive people. Lighten up, you nerds. That's such a mean answer. What the hell? Have you ever fantasized about attacking your enemies with a zeppelin? Is that supposed to be a reference, or am I supposed to really love attacking my enemies with a zeppelin if I'm goth or emo? Would you rather date a werewolf or a vampire? None of these. It's too much effort. You got goth. You dress in black, listen to Joy Division, and appreciate horror movies more than the average person. Thinking about death or the past doesn't faze you. In fact, you may be an expert on both the dark side of life and the Victorian era. Some goths are elegant and stylish. Others are edgier and prefer industrial music or death metal. Either way, you're not afraid to stand out from the crowd. This is such a funny answer because firstly, it's definitely correct because it said I'm goth and not emo, which is right. But this quiz had such weird questions that were totally not accurate and didn't have anything to do with being goth or emo, but still this description does sound like a goth. So this person does know what a goth is and what goth stuff kind of looks like. But they still had such weird questions, like I don't even know how they did this. What percentage goth are you? What's your favorite YouTuber? Markiplier, PewDiePie, Dentium. This is so clearly like a really young person who made this because it seems like all these names are like really things that people of really young age watch. So I'm gonna say other. How often do you swear in one day? Does that make me goth? Does swearing make you goth? If this person really thinks that you're more goth if you swear a lot, that would be so weird. And I don't really count how many times I swear in one day. So how depressed are you? You don't have to be depressed to be goth, and goths are usually not depressed, like not necessarily. 71%. I know this is Dutch, but it says you answered 10 out of 14 questions correctly. So apparently I made mistakes in being goth. Quizzes like this are so inaccurate. Like if you got like 1% on this, you could still be goth for sure. Because it literally says you answered so many questions correct, as if there's a correct way to be goth. If you like happy colors, and if you don't like horror movies, and if you like whatever pink clothes, you could still totally be goth. Like you shouldn't listen to any of these quizzes at all. So those were most of the quizzes that I could find about if you're goth or not, or if you're goth or something else. But the conclusion of this video is really that those quizzes are totally inaccurate, as I thought. The answer was mostly right, but that's probably just because I am apparently accidentally kind of the stereotypical goth or something, or maybe I just answered the questions right because I know which answers to choose to get the answer that I wanted. But yeah, a lot of these questions were just totally weird, because if you were to make a perfect goth quiz, you would have one question which is, do you listen to goth music? And if it would be yes, you would be 100% goth. No, you could still be goth if you're into other goth stuff. Like if you like the goth aesthetic and if you like goth literature, in my opinion, you're still kind of goth because you're into something that is goth. Like I know some people would disagree with me, but I just think if you think you're goth, you can totally be goth. Like it's not something that should be something that you could test with a quiz or that other people could determine for you. It's something you should decide yourself if you want to be that or if you don't want to be that. But yeah, if you're like new to the goth community, or if you're like insecure about am I goth enough, don't take any of these quizzes, please just don't, because they're inaccurate and they make you insecure for no reason. Because as I said, if you think you're goth, you're totally goth. So just ignore any of these quizzes. I do think it was a lot of fun to make these quizzes because some of the questions were just so funny and so ridiculous. I just loved seeing how people think a stereotypical goth should be. So I hope you had fun watching this video too. If you did, consider subscribing. Leave a like and a comment on my video, please. I would love to read your comments, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye!